Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Vaguely Adults. You got one of your hosts, Sarana, here. Unfortunately, Shirley could make it to today's episode, but we do have an amazing and fantastic guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Kiara. I'm a longtime friend of Sarana's, and I'm happy to be here.
But yeah, we have no direction for this episode, so please expect a bunch of chaos and just absolute rambling and shenanigans. Dude, but I was doing the math, and we've been friends for 14 years?
No, I think longer. I was thinking about it too. We met in the third grade?
Yeah, third. I wasn't in America in second grade.
Third grade. So that meant I was 8? We were 8?
Yeah, I was 7 because my birthday's late in the year.
How old are we now?
I'm 24.
24. 16 years?
That's a whole almost adult.
I know. That is so long. That's the spicy teenage years.
It still baffles me because we were friends and then we dropped off the face of the earth and then we reconnected, and it's just every time we do reconnect, it's we pick up exactly where we left off.
Yeah.
It's such a nice feeling.
It is. There's very few people I feel like you can do that with, but we have been able to do that for 16 years. But we didn't talk during our, middle school?
Yeah.
And high school. No, middle school and the first year of high school.
Yeah, because I was at a different high school. You were the reason I got into that other school.
Well, my mom was the reason.
I mean, you.
My mom was the reason I got in there too, so so we're all good. It's okay.
Same bubble, same difference. Just it's wild because we started off as literal babies.
Yeah.
And here we are navigating our mid-20s.
Quarter life. Quarter of a century. Who would have thought?
The quarter life crises do be hidden. They really do.
Yeah, I think we're all going through some type of quarter. It's different for everybody. I know what mine's about, what my quarter life crisis is about, because we're all in different points, and everyone's so different. So many of my other friends are also going through their own thing.
Yeah, I got hit hard in the feels yesterday because we went out for a drive, and I haven't been outside in a good few weeks. Because I don't have a reason to go outside, so I don't, If I want some fresh air, I stick my head out the window, call it a day. But I was just thinking about, how normal it just used to be to, hop on a train and, go get food or, and not question anything. And moving forward, I'm gonna have so much anxiety lingering from everything. I'm not gonna trust restaurants. I'm not gonna trust how clean their cutlery is. I'm not gonna trust, who's making the food or, as if the bowl of food is piping hot, that's the only way I'm going to be able to consume it, knowing that there's no germs available because it's just on hell level of heat,
Yeah, when I order food, I nuke it in the microwave for 3 minutes, even though that ruins the food, but I have to. Everything feels so surreal. I second guess everything I do. Touching a doorknob, everything.
Man.
And I think that's going to be like that for a little bit, even after, hopefully we all get vaccinated and
fingers crossed.
This a little more normally and return to normalcy. But
Yeah, one of my friends had to travel because she's going to school in another state, and she came back for Christmas holiday and whatnot. And she was traveling during a pandemic was one of the most surreal experiences of her entire life. It's people were literally out there in full hazmat suits, and we've seen them in movies. It's surreal to be at the end of the world, but at the same time, it's you're in it and you're what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to navigate this whilst also just trying to live my own life,
Right. Everything is it's almost it becomes this spectrum of it's all reality. It's the reality that we see and then the reality that we're trying to maintain from before, for us in the States, it's March 2020, almost a year. It's not easy to have goals and then just look outside and it's well, how am I going to do that? How do I relearn, unlearn things, relearn it, and be a human in this world.
Yeah. I can't even imagine like what the dating landscape is like, because if it was difficult before, like now you're just gonna be like, all right, I need a scroll of all your credentials and all your tests. Like,
Need a negative test. Like I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I was like, honestly, COVID testing is going to become the new like STD testing. Like, you want to know what your STDs are, you also need to get a COVID test. Like, you got to show me both of it, like all of them. That's going to be it. That's it.
I mean, it's a positive because like safety first. It helps ease all the worries, or most of the worries at least, because some things are still gray areas. But
yeah, for me, I've decided not to date anymore.
yeah.
Honestly, I'm just enjoying singleness and growing and learning, and it takes away like the worry of like COVID and with another human. Yeah, but that's going to be interesting once things are a little more. I really wonder if that'll stay. Like, I have to get tested for like all respiratory pathogens because we're not doing this. Who knows?
Someone's gonna create an app, and you're gonna be able to just share that information, like pre-date. Like it's a box you check off on Tinder or Hinge or something. It's like, yes, share my history.
It's like, I'm an Aries, I'm 5'2", I'm a Christian, and I tested negative for COVID. Like, that's gonna be...
That's just your Tinder bio.
No to the Tinder. I'm not about Tinder. Maybe Bumble, but like...
Dude, it beats me. I'm speaking out of like thin air, because I know nothing about any of that. I've never downloaded any of those apps in my life, so...
Oh, wait, for real?
Yeah, I've never.
Oh!
I think the only app I've been on was like unsolicited DMs from Instagram.
Wait, why do I remember? Oh, was that Shirley? That was Shirley. Who was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
She was like on everything. She has like seasons that she downloads different apps.
I did too, and now I'm not about the apps. I'm kind of traumatized from apps. I'm just like, this is not human to me. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I've just accepted
somebody online or through an app, but I've had no luck, so
I have nothing to rebuke because I've never tried it, so...
Oh my god, you should totally it's fun. It can be fun.
We've had robocallers saying that they've secured the vaccine and wants to like give it away, and I'm just like...
That? Okay.
Yeah.
I was watching Trevor Noah. Yes, I was watching Trevor Noah, and he was talking about how there's people trying to sell the vaccine on the black market for like thousands of dollars. And I'm like, who in their right mind would pay like $20,000 for a COVID vaccine they got off of the black market? You're gonna die because they're injecting something else in you. I don't know what they're putting in your body, but it's not the Moderna vaccine or Pfizer, whatever. It's not that. Who would ever do that?
I'd be surprised.
Because you're not, like, whoever's stupid enough to buy that, maybe you deserve it because that's crazy. You know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's bad to say, but, like, why would you buy that? Anyway.
I think if you have that much money and you don't, like, have your priorities in check, like, what really are you doing? Because you're not doing it correctly. But anyways, who am I to judge? Who am I to judge?
Yeah, we're not. We're not God, so we can't.
But speaking of the vaccine and you being a healthcare worker, I just kind of wanted your thoughts, like, on the vaccine, on its, like, reliability and kind of the whole herd immunity thing that everyone's just been throwing around, but its importance to, getting this under control. Because the vaccine's not necessarily for you, but it's, for those around you who may be immunosuppressed or who may be more at risk or, all those things.
Yeah, I want to be sensitive with this topic because getting the vaccine, I think, is an emotional process as well as an additional, like, a very, like, we need to protect ourselves and other people. So I want to just put out, get the vaccine when you're ready to get the vaccine. Don't just like, it's ready, let me like go run and get it. Like, get it when you're ready. Because I've seen people like cry when they get the vaccine because it's just such a a process for them. But I am pro-vaccine. Get the vaccine when you're ready. In order for this to really go away, and I put go away because it's not really going to go away. Like the pathogen will always exist. But if we can vaccinate enough people, then the virus loses its ability to cause illness, and that's how it spreads. So it spreads like through those symptoms, you know, like the coughing. And if it can't make people sick, then it doesn't spread. So that I think is like people just, it's all about like, oh, I don't want to like get hurt from it or whatever. And it's like, you know, it is new technology, but it is trusted technology. Like scientists have done research on this for 10 years. It just wasn't being used yet. And we have an opportunity to use this technology to help save lives and end this pandemic. So that's what I have to say about it. And the more people that we vaccinate, the less effective the virus is at making people sick and just continuing this very long year. And
yeah.
Going to be 2 years if you think about it. So
I'm just trying to not spend another birthday in a quarantine, you know?
Yeah.
At this point, people are not even quarantining. It's just like they're throwing the word around and they're still like having meetups. And I'm like, I get that you're all exhausted. I am as well. But we're still seeing like record number of infections.
We're seeing more numbers than we were seeing, like, I want to say peak COVID last year.
Yeah.
My birthday's in April, and I remember April very vividly because it was a tough month. Like that was just like, if not peak COVID, I want to say like April, beginning of May, we had like the first wave, and that was like my birthday month. So yeah, it was tough. I don't want to think about it.
I remember when it like really hit and it was approaching summer, I was like, all right, by my birthday, it'll be fine. And then we start approaching November quite rapidly, and not only does the state of the world deteriorate exponentially, but COVID just like booms. And I'm like, all right, yeah, no, there is no way that we're even gonna see daylight until maybe next year summer. And you know, I know that the scientists and all the healthcare people have been working real hard, and major props. I just wish more governments were able to organize and roll out the vaccines a little faster. Because, like, I saw Dippin' Dots were like, hey, we got freezers, we got you. And that was, like, a saving grace moment. I was like, yo, look at who came in to play hero.
Oh my goodness. Yo, they come through on, like, a hot summer day at, like, the Bronx, too. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, they come through, and they came through during this pandemic.
Dippin' Dots. True homies.
It's so the issue too is like the first two vaccines, they're like 2-dose vaccines. So when you make the vaccine, if you have like 100, you only have 50 people. So it's tricky, you know, because you have to make sure that you're able to give those people the second dose. Because if not, it's not as effective as it would be if you had gotten the second dose. But then with this new vaccine coming out from Johnson & Johnson, I think Dr. Fauci said it's less effective, but it's less effective at like producing immunity. But if it does produce immunity, it's like better at fighting off serious, like really, really serious illness. You have to fact check me on that because this
podcast is known to be like I've said something, but just make sure you fact check that, you know?
At least we say it.
Yeah.
Throwing shade at you know who, but...
But I've just been seeing, like, thankfully, a lot of the, like, scientific community on YouTube that I watch, like ASAP Science and, like, It's Okay to Be Smart, and many, many others, releasing a lot more information about the vaccines and kind of explaining what the mRNA clinical trials have been like and how important it is and the technology that's been around for so long but only implemented now. And I think it's really important because they have massive audiences, and being able to relay that information and kind of like ease the anxiety or fear that may come around vaccinations, because unfortunately it's such a controversial topic when it shouldn't be. It's tried and true research that scientific communities have spent decades on. It's nice to see that there's such initiative taken to educate and just spread positive information and help out the whole situation on a whole, because it's a lot. A year in and it's still so overwhelming. So
yeah, knowledge is important, and I think with anything that's new, it's a little bit scary. You know, anything that is new, it's scary, and the vaccine is a part of it. That's why I try to be as like sensitive I can, because everyone is different, and with getting the vaccine, like it is new technology, but like you have to put your trust in something, because if we don't put our trust in anything, then like it's just going to be like internal like anarchy, and I'd rather put my trust in people that have been using this or studying the technology for at least a decade. You have to put your trust in something, and I'd rather put it in scientists.
I didn't mean for this episode to just be the COVID episode.
COVID. Well, I mean, I am a nurse, so I figured it'd probably go down that road.
That's fair. Just switching up gears a little. Do you have any stories from our vast friendship that you want to share with the audience that may be incriminating to me, but, you know, just a little nugget of what Sarana's like in real life?
Sarana, I mean, I don't have like a specific story. Sarana's just a blast to be around. Like, she's just a very in the moment kind of person, and she always grounds me and just focus on right now. Like, don't worry about the past. Don't fear the future. She's very just like, and I think every time we meet up, I'm reminded of that, because it's just like, all right, we haven't seen each other in like 4 months or 6 months, whatever it is. And we're just like in this moment right now enjoying each other's company. So I just think like the friendship in itself is the story. Like, that's the story. Oh, and Sarana, I just want to point out, Sarana walks a lot, because I was listening to the other episodes, but I do too. That's why we are able to. I was listening to the other episode with Shirley. She's like, she doesn't walk. And I'm like, oh no, me and Sarana, we've walked like a lot together.
So much.
A lot of miles. My iPhone is like, yeah, you walk a lot.
It's a nice form of exercise, and it's also just nice to see the outdoors. But to be quite honest, like, my walking it's just plummeted. Like, all I do is like walk to the kitchen and back, and it's
understandable.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you know what I was thinking about the other day? I was like, how did I not gain more weight than I gained weight because of this pandemic. Totally fine. But how did I not gain more, considering how like little exercise I've been getting? Because I like to be outside. Like, I'm like in the park, walking or jogging, whatever. And it's like, how did I not gain more weight? But we're not going to question it. We're just going to accept it.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably the anxiety, because the anxiety burns calories like crazy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I feel like the mental... Like, the brain probably burns more calories than anything. Just like
100%. Yeah.
Craziness that happens. But
oof. I can't know. Just bouncing back real quick, because I also wanted to say our friendship means so much to me as well, because I thoroughly enjoy that we just meet up whenever we do and we pick back up. And it's so heartwarming, because friendships like that is super rare. And I'm so grateful to have met you at such a point in my life where we've literally grown together and apart and together and apart again, you know, because life be rough. It really do.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy that we're the type of people that we can just like go MIA for like half a year and be like, yo, so what you doing next week?
It really is that. That is, yeah, I'm grateful for that too. It's, you know, I've been in situations where people get a little offended when you don't, when you're, you know, and it has nothing to do with the other person. It's just like, sometimes life just takes over and you can't, and I'm really big on just like really giving time and good energy to the people that you're around. And if I'm not in that like position, like, I don't necessarily want to like half-ass like a meetup, you know, or like I want to be there. I want to be present. And sometimes life just doesn't let you do that. But we've been able to like always, after, I mean, what was it, 3 years we met up after middle school? It was like, hello.
Well, it was technically 4, because it was all 3 years of middle school and then my first year of high school. And then we just met back up sophomore year and was like, hey girl.
Together until I changed to like, what was it, the B6. It was because I used to drop off my sister at school, so I would walk over.
I just used to do the most. I used to take the B11 and the B6. Like, I would go all the way to Bay Parkway and then take the D train all the way back home. But
Oh, girl.
Yeah, that's just because I wanted to spend more time with my friends. And in retrospect, like I feel like my past self knew that I was never gonna get moments like that again.
Yeah, no, I have done the same thing where I'm like, I'm gonna stay on the bus a little longer just so I can hang out with these people a little bit, and I'll just walk back to the train. Like, it's fine. Like, that happens. And those moments
that was me.
important.
Taking the R train with you, like I hate
taking the R train.
Who doesn't? Oh my god! And now I live like, I mean, I don't want to say, but like I live like, you know.
Man, it's deep. Can't wait until I can actually visit you when we can have like a nice housewarming because
I'm excited for that. I look forward to
overdue.
it. I look forward to it, and I think that's what we have to focus on. Is like that time will come where we can enjoy company in person again.
We'll be 32, but it'll be fine.
We'll be 30. Yeah, we'll be 32. Oh gosh, don't say that. That's 7 years. I can't do this. Oh my goodness.
Oh, man.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. A massive thank you to Kiara for being here. What an absolute wonderful guest. And stay tuned because she will definitely be appearing much more. I hope everyone's staying safe, healthy, and warm because I'm looking out my window right now and it's an actual snowstorm again.
Yeah, it's snowing again.
This is the second week in a row, so it's rough. But we will catch you guys next time with Shirley, hopefully.
Thanks for having me.
Vaguely adult, things are just vague.